I wanted to get into some systemic issues. And let's start with the thief that stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop. So Riley Williams, the 22-year-old woman accused of stealing Nancy Pelosi's laptop during the Capitol riot and allegedly planning to sell it to Russia, was ordered a release from jail under supervision on last Thursday. Attorney for Williams told the court that some of the accusations against her client were overstated, even though we saw what she did, and said her ex-boyfriend, who reported her to the FBI, has been abusive. According to the Department of Justice, Williams is charged with aid, abet others to embezzle, steal, purloin, obstruct, influence, or impede any official proceeding, knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority, violent entry, and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. None of these charges are related to the allegation that she planned to sell the laptop to Russia, a claim which the court documents say remains under investigation. The judge told Williams that he was releasing her because she had no prior criminal record, but he warned her and her mother that she could be criminally charged if she does not abide by the supervision requirements. Conditions include restricted travel for all purposes, but the criminal proceeding, home confinement with an ankle monitor, and Williams' mother serving as a third-party custodian. According to the criminal complaint, Williams' former partner shared video clips with investigators that say they had been recorded or live streamed by Williams during the riot. In one video, a woman believed to be Williams can be heard telling a man, "Dude, put on gloves." And I had to say it like that. "Dude, put on gloves," before he gets an HP laptop on a wooden desk. The complaint said Capitol Police confirmed that the video was taken inside Pelosi's office and that an HP laptop was stolen from the office that day. Also, the zip tie guy, the infamous photo that we see with the zip tie guy, his name is Eric Munchel, and I hope I'm saying that right.
Hell nah.
Get our names wrong. So Eric Munchel, the zip tie guy, he was with his mother in the Senate chamber. And after testimony at a detention hearing Friday, Judge Jeffrey Frinsley for the Middle District of Tennessee determined that Munchel wasn't a flight risk and didn't pose harm to the public. Prosecutors have argued that Munchel's offenses are serious enough to detain him pending trial to ensure the community's safety. Munchel is charged with violent entry and disorderly conduct on the Capitol grounds, conspiracy, and civil disorder. He faces up to 20 years if convicted. The evidence supports the conclusion that he intended to contribute to chaos, obstruct the Electoral College certification, and sow fear. Now, he was supposed to be released, but a judge, this is news that just broke this morning, a judge definitely block that. Come on, somebody. And on Twitter, the conversation did pull up where people were comparing two systems of justice. One person said on Twitter, Kalief Browder allegedly stole a backpack at 16, spent 3 years at Rikers Island without trial. Riley Williams stole a laptop from Speaker Pelosi's office and tried selling it to the Russians. She was released to her mother. There are two justice systems in America, hashtag Black Lives Matter. And I think this is very important for us to go into as we go into the conversation to discuss. Basically, Kalief Browder is a story that we've heard of for years, of a young man who allegedly stole a backpack, and they put him in extreme conditions over there at Rikers. And when he got out, it was like, how can he go ahead and live his life? This man had to deal with something so just hearing the stories, and that we know how Black men, how Black people are treated in this justice system, and how white people literally can do no wrong.
Treason.
And it's not considered wrong. She was released to her mother, a 16-year-old boy and a 22-year-old woman. Let's talk about it.
22. Why the hell she wasn't kept in damn jail? I mean, when I heard this story, it really pissed me off, bro. It really pissed me off because, really, Kalief Browder, this man couldn't get the help that he needed and ended up committing suicide. It's like it's really effed up. It really is two different systems of justice in this country. But of course, we already knew that. We've been knowing it. We've been facing it for a long time.
Facts.
Sick of
Facts. Mondale, it sounds like you about to get in there and explain why. Because I mean, it's not a broken system. It's operating the way it's designed. Go ahead, man.
Absolutely the system is running like a well-oiled fucking prison door. It's opening and closing when it's supposed to. It's letting certain people in and locking certain people out, meaning white people weren't meant, the prison system wasn't meant for white people. Anybody saying anything else is full of it. Let me explain to you what I'm saying. Before slavery ended, and a great example is in North Carolina. I talked about this before. North Carolina had two prisons in the whole state. As soon as slavery ended, North Carolina built over 200, probably I think somewhere around 300 prisons or jails.
Wow.
For one reason, because if you read the 13th Amendment, it tells you exactly how you can re-enslave black people.
Exactly. Talk about it.
There's a comma and a but in there, right? That comma and but is all about the prison system. So the ideal of the prison industrial complex is not new. It became the new slavery as soon as slavery ended for black people. This is why we are overrepresented in the prison population. It was never meant to lock up little Jesse Riley or Bally or Miley or whichever Cyrus she related to. It was all about locking up Tyrone and us and Mr. Browder. Yeah. That's the system was built for that. The people who put you in the prisons, in jail. Now, if you trace their origins, the first police department, also in my home state of North Carolina, came from where? Slave patrols, slave catchers, people that were notoriously for going to snatch black people, free black people, whether they were right or wrong, just had to be a black body and bringing them back into the South for slavery. So the history of police snatching black people for anything or nothing and holding them is the history of American slavery. It's the history of this country. It is American. There is no justice system for black people. That's why I push back on the two justice systems. There's one justice system, and that's for everybody other than black people, brown people. There's an injustice system that we are inflicted by. Then it's the justice system that white people get to experience.
Right. So I want to, first off, that everything that Mondale said, I second it. Matter of fact, it needs to be repeated. That needs to be a clip on its own.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go somewhere different. This is one of these media pivots. I'm gonna pivot somewhere different. Your favorite organizations don't talk about this. Your favorite progressive organizations don't talk about it. Your favorite progressive shows don't talk about it. Your favorite progressive and liberal pundits and organizations and parties, new party, old party, they don't talk about this. Everybody wants to talk about other stuff. I always go to black because the most atrocious things that have happened and consistently happen in America that are right in front of our eyes that actually could define you, whether you're progressive or not, whether you support it or not, you want to fight it or not, are things like the injustice system. But we support organizations that pop up out of nowhere, don't want to talk about reparations, don't want to talk about injustice in the criminal justice system. They just want to talk about, like, broad-based things that white America could benefit from. Right. And I mean, so listen, no more black votes for Democrats unless y'all actually address this. No more. I'm gonna show up for the Movement for a People's Party, because until they start addressing things like, y'all ain't addressing the most atrocious things that are happening to Americans right now, because that's not what your center is. That's not what your focus is. And yeah, I said specific names. I said Democrats, because guess what? At the end of the day, all y'all are going to need black voters. But Democrats can't do nothing without black voters. Y'all can't win nationally. We proved that. And any other progressive organization, DSA, Movement for a People's Party, anybody who claims they're on doing any kind of progressive work, guess what? Y'all gonna need black people more, because y'all definitely don't have the numbers. But y'all don't fundamentally know how to actually center this stuff. And y'all keep popping up. And y'all keep getting blue checks. And y'all keep
funding
people. You keep getting funding. You keep getting all kinds of stuff, and it's like, what are y'all doing with it? Y'all talking about y'all making a major issue out of force the vote. Man, damn a force the vote. I could care less about it, because white people are getting out of jail for attacking the Capitol faster for free. faster.
Get out of jail for free card.
We can get out of jail for going 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. So I mean, like, if y'all got to excuse me if I'm going to redefine what progressive means, because these organizations that are screaming progressive and people's this and that ain't progressive. That ain't about the people. Because if it's about the people, it's progressive. It's about all people, and you address the most atrocious things against society first. Right? That's progressive. The things that are blatantly in front of your face. If women were getting harassed all over the workplace, then you address that first before you decide to give that company your business. If you have organizations or people that are not addressing Black issues whatsoever, if you know that Native Americans still have not gotten any kind of respite for their lands being taken away, then you're not progressive. You're just talking about how you can make other white people happy that ain't rich.
Speaking about women being harassed in the workplace, no, Rebecca, we're not talking about you.
Why would you say that, Mondale?
I'm teasing, but not really. Joe Biden's pick to run the Department of Defense is straight up about that life. He told the Senate, he told the senators during his confirmation hearing he was going to do something, and that was to check in on the sexual harassment claims in the military. You know, like there was serious claims of women, and anybody in those spaces know exactly where this is coming from and how true it is. So I'm super excited about the fact that we're going to be pushing forward with some. He gave them a short deadline to address it and bring up like what their plan is. And on the back of that, we also saw Joe Biden remove the ban on transgender people for the military as well. So it looks like we're seeing some stuff happen that's super exciting about protecting the least amongst us. So Marcus is absolutely spot on, and it's keeping the tradition of what we've seen for the past couple of days.
And actually, what you pulled up, we have that headline of the moves that are being made in the Pentagon. If we could pull, I don't know if we have it ready, but that's an important story. That's one of the stories we wanted to cover because that really speaks to the shift, especially the allowing transgender individuals to be a part of the military. I think it signals a definitive shift in the direction that you're talking about, Marcus, in terms of like you gotta start with the people who are getting brutalized by the system in every aspect of the system, right? So I definitely agree with you on that one, man. That's Lloyd Austin demanding U.S. military sexual assaults. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has given his senior leaders 2 weeks to send him reports on sexual assault prevention programs in the military and assessment of what has worked and what hasn't. So those are important moves.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about Yokosuka, Japan, and the sailors and Marines that got into a lot of trouble for going off base. Yeah,
what's that? Yokosuka, Japan. What you know about Iwakuni, Yokosuka? What Yamaguchi Prefecture? Okay.
I'm a devil dog, Mondale. I'm a devil dog.
I know you are, brother. I know you are.
I got something I think y'all two will appreciate. I think I got two things. I got one clip that y'all will appreciate.
I love when they talk about their experience.
I got something that all of y'all will appreciate. It's these Black Male Voter Project coffee mugs that change color as you drink the coffee.
I want one.
You said it changes color?
Look, where's that? I want
black.
one.
It gets black when it's cold, and when you put coffee in it,
that's dope. That's dope.
So
where do we buy them at? Where's the link? Where do we buy it?
It's on at blackmalevoterproject.org.
.org, and I'm just a merchandise.
Yeah, go to the store.
Y'all all just cut off my point about Yokosuka.
Sorry. Look, support Black businesses.
Thank
okay, go ahead, Marcus.
Hey, y'all all just we were talking about sexual assault, and one of the biggest travesties that happened in military history is Marines and sailors going off base in Yokosuka and literally creating crimes of sexual assault all across the island to civilians, to the point where, the military had to stop people from going off base. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
And I mean, the military didn't cover it up, but if you look it up, you're going to see a lot of conversations about like American military members going and basically forcing themselves on the native Japanese women and men over there on the island, right? One of the biggest stories that has ever happened. And so when this black brother comes in and starts saying, let's talk about sexual assault in the military, probably on and off base, that's why it's important to actually have people who are care about the community that's in there.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. That was my point.
Also,
I mean, go back.
So no, you can't joke after that because I mean, like,
no, we
can't joke. I feel bad. I feel bad now. We done talked about And then we went to the coffee mug. I'm like, where can we buy the coffee mug? And so my bad.
BlackMaleVotersProject.org.
Okay, Mondale, you were trying to make another important point after what Marcus said, and we back to the mugs, which we will get on blackmalevoter.org. But go ahead.
Project.
Let me get it correct. Blackmalevoterproject.org. We will be definitely getting those mugs, and you guys who are watching, you guys make sure you get on that website and get that as well. But you were making a point, though.
No, Marcus was in Japan. I was in Japan. Yeah. So, but I mean, like we both felt the problems of how Japanese people felt about American military being there, not just on the anniversary of Hiroshima, but also like about the raping of the young lady on Okinawa, which is a sore spot in general. Like, so the Japanese people, the natives, really want us gone for the most part out of their country, because it's imperialism that has us there, that kept us there. After World War II, Japanese were not allowed to have a military because that was part of what America made them sign. Right. After we bombed 2 civilian cities, we did not bomb military bases intentionally, and we also dropped the bomb so low that if you go to Hiroshima, you will see like parts of the wall where the blast was so bright from that bomb that it cast their shadow. Like the bomb took a picture of them on the walls. Yeah. So it is absolutely disgusting that imperialism, I'm talking about American imperialism, and it ties right into what Marcus was talking about, the sexual harassment. So I'm super excited that, Marcus, like you said, there's a black man responsible for this, mainly because I think we should talk about something else that happened that is the opposite of this, that black men are responsible for. And that's the brothers who are responsible for beating and biting the sister's eye in Queens,
in Harlem.
Harlem. It was absolutely disgusting that people videoed this and didn't help this sister as this guy tried to bite her eye out, only because she wouldn't allow them to buy her a bottle of wine. She wanted to pay for it herself, and they follow her out the store, and they begin to kick her and beat her and try to literally bite her eye out. It is absolutely disgusting that this is existing, that this is a climate where people would much rather record a video and put it on YouTube and get views and clicks than to protect people. And the sad part about it was, the sad part about it is, bro, one of the people told her when they got distracted to run because one of the guys had did it before. My thing is, that means you know this person, first of all. Second of all, you ain't told the cops about the first time this person did it, and you're in close proximity enough to let this happen to a second person. You two are criminally liable, and it's absolutely disgusting. So with that story, a little bit background, like Mondale was saying. So this woman came from work. You know how it be when you come from work. You just want to wind down. You hit the liquor store that's closest to your crib, so you can just get she wanted to get some wine. And 2 men were there, and one offered to purchase it, and she declined. And some guys get really butthurt about being rejected. And so he followed her outside and began to attack her, even biting her face like the animal that he is, while others did watch. And then he grabbed her cell phone, cursing her out and things like that. And while this was going on, like he said, a bystander who knows that this has happened before there said, you better run because they're known to do this before. He's done this before. Now, in this community of Harlem, like I've lived in New York, and I know that where I lived in Brooklyn, it was real gritty. Right. And where, and when I used to go visit my friends in Harlem, like there was that kind of, people will tell me, like, when you're walking through Harlem or when you're walking on this block, they knew this kind of stuff always happened. Make sure you have like a knife in your pocket, or you got pepper spray or whatever, because this happens so often. Now, this happened, and the next day,
a woman who led the protests, or people from the Harlem community, came out there and made sure, like, they're like, this needs to stop happening, to get that word out. And I had reposted that video on Twitter, and it was funny to see the comment section. People were like, oh, well, why didn't they do nothing? Da, 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 da. Now it's really the community of Harlem. Not to say that to say that this does always happen. And how they prepare us, like when I first moved there, was to say, when you're walking through this neighborhood, this is what you need to do, because these are the type of people that are there, and this is what happens. So it's almost normal. That's why that bystander said, hey, this has happened before, so make sure you run. Like, that's what happens in that community. But I'm happy that everybody, or a lot of the people from that particular community, did come out the following night to highlight, like, this should not be normalized. This shouldn't be normal. Right. And we have to, just because they're Black men, we're not going to try to protect them because they're Black men in this moment. We got to call them out. We have to call them out, hold them accountable. And that's what they did the night after. So.
That's what it sounds like, because I haven't seen the video, but it sounds like it sounds like story. Some people should have did it right there in the moment. If I'm hearing y'all correctly,
right. So they should have had their ass whooped. Excuse my language. I mean, I have no space. I have no space for anybody to move that way, and protecting people like that. I tell people all the time, like, yo, like the code of the street is not about like this type of exploitation. I don't care what nobody tell you, like talking to the cops about this. That, to me, you ain't snitching. Ain't no way you could touch a woman around me and I ain't gonna say nothing. I don't care if she's still gonna go home with you that night. I'm gonna say something, bro. Like I'm gonna say something. Big you know, it's, and when people say you got to pick your battles, well, I'm glad your moral compass allows you to do that. But I don't get to pick my battles because all of them are mine. Facts. Especially in this type of, when it's about equity, or when we're talking about like you trying to bully somebody or beat somebody, not in front of me, bro. Not in front of me. I'm wired different.
And I wish there were a lot more men to stand in that as well, because we see it all the time, where a lot of men will attack a woman, speak down to a woman. There's always videos circulating with that. Yeah. And it's the comment section for me. A lot of men will be in there like, well, if she didn't, and if she, Jesus. Looking at the other men standing around and not saying anything as these
that's
things
just one day
down, it kills me.
We sit up here and we talk about abolishing the police. We sit up here and we talk about, we say abolish the police. The street code says don't snitch. All right, well then if we're not snitching and we don't, and y'all want to abolish the police, y'all want to defund the police, then we got to police ourselves.
Got to police ourselves.
Like our community has to, our community has to do it ourselves. So like, I do believe that police should be defunded. I do believe that, you know, I do believe in some aspects of the no snitching rule sometimes. Right. But when it comes to, if we have all that going on and we don't want to work with authority, then that means that when you see a woman getting, I mean, it's, you know, these dudes be talking this tough guy talk, man. And now I'm gonna go back to like the 1950s and 1960s. The only thing y'all got is y'all guns. Right. And with that, and without your guns, and some of y'all won't pull the trigger. Some of y'all won't pull the trigger when confronted. Y'all soft as hell. Right. So I'm not going to take the route that everybody else. Well, I'm going to take Mondale's route, but I ain't going to take the route that society and the mainstream media has taken when it comes down to situations like this right here. How come you haven't holding them accountable? Yeah, I will. I'll mess your ass up. I hurt you.
That's why the streets came out.
I hurt you. I hurt you.
So the streets did come out.
The streets came out the following night because it wasn't a story that was really.
But I'm talking about on site.
Yeah,
on site.
I'm talking about like, okay, you know what?
No, when head of phase, like
when it's time.
Yes.
When it's going on. Hey, bro. Exactly what in the hell do you think you're doing right now? Right. All right. Well, then I'm gonna check whether I got my piece on me. Right. And this is in the state where I'm allowed to carry. Now, if y'all try to do that in Atlanta, Georgia, and you see me around, you might want to stop because it's gonna end up in a shootout. I'm telling you right. I'm just telling you right now. Like first I'm gonna try to put these paws on you to get you to stop. Yep. To get you to stop doing whatever you're gonna do. And if these paws don't work, and you got a problem with that, then we can go other places. But what you ain't gonna do in my community is hurt random women, hurt random people in general. Sorry, Memphis.
Here's what I'm saying. I don't even understand who wants to be around. Like who? Like he's done this before. Like who? What type of people are friendly with this type of person?
Why even hang out with that type of person?
Where are we? Where are we in the world? That's like me hanging out with somebody who is balling and not paying their child support.
Well, these are men that are there's a lot of men in the world that are like that. Rejection, literally, and something as simple as rejection from a woman in front of people, it sets some men off to the point where they have to attack because they were rejected. And because this woman said, I'm gonna use my own money to buy my own wine because I came in here alone to get my wine. I don't need it.
And the flip side of it is, the flip side of it is, if she would have asked him to buy her wine, then she's a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? Like these people.
That's a possibility as well. Yeah.
It's a no-win.
This is how weak they're. Yeah, it's a no-win situation.
They cowards. Straight up
who's
cowards.
safe in the community? Who's safe in the community with this monster walking down the street?
But that's exactly why the community came out to really point out what you're saying. This is something that, like I said, I moved there. It's almost normal to know that these people live amongst the community. These people who are savages that out here in these streets.
I'm gonna put my paws on you.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know how far this clip is gonna go. Like when it comes down to accountability for things like for innocent victims in our community, I'm just gonna put my paws on you, bruh. And if I catch one, you gonna catch one. Like I'm of the Richard Pryor thought process with this thing right here. We gonna listen. I might get my ass whooped, but we gonna find out.
And that's the thing, Marcus. Exactly how you feel, exactly how Mondale feels, exactly how you guys are very mad about it, which is great. I need people to be understandably mad, right? Furious with what's going on because it's not right that women can't just walk to the store in their communities to get wine and fear getting assaulted because they reject somebody they don't even know. But in this case, it showed when the community came out. If you listen to the clip of what they were saying, it's like let's hold these people accountable. Let's figure this out. People were in there like, I'm ready to find out where these men are, what they look like, because if the police ain't gonna do nothing about it, we are gonna do something about it. Right. So it goes into that conversation which you were saying to police ourselves. We gotta police ourselves. So let's go into this community, figure out who them boys is. Ain't no cameras around. What's up?
So let me tell white America real quick. Y'all like Vigilante on TV. Y'all like Batman. Y'all made it $1 billion franchise. Mm-hmm. This is it. I mean, I'm telling. So when people say, "Oh, y'all are for vigilantes or supporting vigilantes," I am. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm absolutely for community policing. It's the nature of the Black Panther Party. Self-defense, like we absolutely need it. And I think what happens is when we are checking our communities, when we got eyes on our own streets in that manner, we become safer, not just from Black people, because that's what they want to say. I'm talking about we become safer from your cops. So this is absolutely necessary for the safety of our communities, not just for patrolling these Bamas, but also the cops that come in our communities and do certain things that are just like this.
And I do want to add and say this as well too, and I'm glad that they came out as a community and they supported our sister. But can we do the same with our transgender sisters as well too? Absolutely. There's so much violence going on with them, and some of the videos that I've seen, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. You got people that standing there laughing. Do something.
They're murdering them in cold blood and leaving them for dead.
Cold blood.
And no one says a thing. These stories have to be highlighted on the, from small LGBTQIA communities, but we never really, and I can't say we, but like media never really picks up on it as a conversation either. This is what's happening. Like these our transgender brothers and sisters are dying literally from the same type of men, because rejection or because they don't want to be exposed. These are things that are happening every day. And
I mean, if I may add something, I'm just going to say this right here. I have put my hands on folks. I might be risking going to jail right now over the same things that we talking about: trans folks, LGBTQ folks, old people. I done got into about 6 fights in my life, and all of them have been me trying to stop somebody from her. I'm nuts. We can move on, man, because this is triggering me. I'm
it's
just
triggering
you know,
you.
like, listen to what I'm saying. I'm just saying this, man. Like, look, check this out. I ain't a violent dude until I see stuff like that, right? So, like, and I ain't a killer, but don't push me. And what I'm saying is, like, okay, maybe there needs to be a lot more people like me, right? But like, I ain't worried about what no white person got to say to me. I ain't worried about what no cop has to say to me. Pop right here in Atlanta, Georgia, saw 2 cops beating up a homeless dude and shot him twice in the butt, right? And got off, and he didn't get caught. It's in most of us to protect our own neighborhoods, right? But you got folks who either want to leech off the neighborhood, got so comfortable in the neighborhood that they think they become these violent sort of predators within our neighborhoods. But I don't do predators, man, because I know y'all soft, right? All you got to do is stand still. All you got to do is stand still and hold your hands out high, right? Like and scare a bear away. Y'all ain't even bears, y'all puppies. Soft ass puppies.
I'm gonna sit on this show and tell the truth. I am extremely violent. Like I am extremely violent. No, and I'm not saying it to like be bad. I'm saying I am extremely violent. Like I am a violent person. It's my mode of handling problems. It's my choice. It's my mode of choice. Now, I am Jesus type of violent, right? If you go through, Jesus was 33 years old when he was finished, when his life was over before the resurrection. Dude was super violent. People won't tell you that. People talk about Jesus was this non-violent person. I don't know which Bible you were reading. Jesus was all about property damage. Jesus called some of the disciples Satan, which at that time is the worst curse word you could say to someone. That is verbal abuse. That is violence. Jesus was all about what he did to the herd of pigs or whatever they are, the fig tree, the money changers. I'm all that type of violent all the time, bro. All that time.
Chasing those swine.
You tap into that violence when need be, right? You're not just violent just for no reason. Because, white folks is watching and they see a black man, your skin color, your beard, they're gonna associate that with aggressiveness. Listen, you utilize Absolutely. It. You pull up with that violence when need be. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you got the right one type of moment and you also got the wrong one.
So for me, hold on a second. Let me finish this. Hold on, Marcus. Because for me, I need to finish this because I need white people to know that when you approach me or anybody, I don't have the same disposition for white people that Barack Obama does. My first instinct is you gonna do me wrong. Until you prove me that you're not a rattlesnake, no disrespect to fam.
To the fam.
But what I'm saying, until you prove me that you're not a venomous animal trying to attack me, I'm automatically assuming that's the way you're moving. That's because America has my DNA feeling that type of way. I am coded to know that you look like who is trying to finish me in some way, politically, policy-wise, cop-wise, some type of system that your folk created is trying to kill me on a daily basis. So I need you to prove to me that you're not.
I want to just add one thing. First off, Rebecca, I was just about to say the same thing. I don't give a damn what a white person said about me no more. I used to, but I don't care. White people, you can look at me and say, "Oh, he's violent." Guess what? You violent. Your ancestors violent. Your whole country, your whole essence is violent. Everything. All your cousins at Thanksgiving are violent.
This whole damn system.
The books you write are violent against me. I don't care about what they have to say. Secondly, first, rattlesnakes only bite when they're provoked. So, I mean, I don't even want to compare some of these white folks to rattlers because, they don't go seeking to go bite somebody.
But I'm comparing you guys to rattlesnakes. You guys will be violent when you're provoked.
We have centered whiteness. I have had to deal with centering whiteness so long when it comes down to situations like this that I don't have to give an explanation to non-white person about me policing my community.
Yeah,
I don't.
Right.
I don't. Y'all. I don't have to explain nothing to y'all. I don't have to explain a damn thing. Why? Because y'all had your opportunity to brand identify what helping out black communities could look like, and y'all decided to take it the negative route, where every time they show a suspect on there, you show the one thug pictures that you have over a black person getting killed. Y'all did that, not black folks.
Yeah. Right.
Like you know what I mean. You don't have no more say so in how we conduct, look, feel about our communities, the only thing you can do is ask us for a vote at this point and give and help us out with reparations if you really care. Besides that, get the hell out of my way, bro. Just y'all just go on about your business.
Bell Hook said, talking about where this conversation began at, so we can move on if we want to. But this is as a bookend. But Bell Hook said, when men sit around and talk about this is if you know Bell Hooks, you know that she's a straight shooter. She said, when men sit around and let their friends talk about like their sexual experience with women and talk about pounding her body part.
Vagina.
You two are participating. You two are participating in violence against women. And I think, when she said it the first time, I was like, wait, what? You're talking to your friends about sexual encounter is a form of violence. And honestly, it took me a while to see it, but like that is absolutely, it absolutely is. Because the desensitizing to like what that incident, what that situation is supposed to be, and how it's dangerous. So man, I just want to say that we need to get serious about sexual assault and also abuse, this type of abuse that happened in that community, and people shouldn't be comfortable. You should be throwing your phone at the person. If you're afraid to fight them, throw your phone and run or something, but don't sit there and record what's happening to that woman. Exactly.
Yeah. Rebecca?
I think everybody put up that last point that you put, Mondale. We have been desensitized with a lot of these things that happen, as far as with women and assault and things like that. Going down to the Me Too movement, it's just a lot that I can go into, and this show will go on forever. So don't even want to get into that right now, but definitely we touched on, and I'm glad that you brought that story up, because
that's a good story. It's important.
It's very important that we touched on that, because it wasn't getting as much push. And because, of course, Black Twitter is going to do the work, and they were bringing it out there. And a lot of the conversation that we had this morning was a lot of the conversation that was going on in the comment section. I think was a healthy debate, but to see how many men were like, "What we were supposed to do? What could?" Or white people were always also commenting saying, could we get a little bit backstory on what the woman was doing, or why she was in that certain neighborhood? I mean, she lives in that neighborhood, and I was ready to literally rip these people apart, because I reposted it, and that's a lot of the conversation that was happening. But this conversation needed to happen, and one key thing is for us to really police ourselves. And like Marcus said, we don't got to explain anything to white folks or anything like that, but they do need to hear these conversations. So you don't step into territory that don't belong to you. So like in the comment section, like, don't be in there talking about, why was she in that area? Watch your mouth. Like, don't.
Keep your hands on the hood and watch your mouth. Stay out of conversation. Anyway, the point is, I agree with everything. I agree with everything that was said. So if all hearts and minds are clear, because I think it's very clear, we ain't a killer, but don't push us. That's it.